Okay, so your brand design, your logo, your colors, your fonts, all of that is ready to look over. And I'm really, really excited to share it with you. But first, let me apologize for my voice if it's sounding weird. I'm still getting over that cold, so I might like break out into coughing or something, but hopefully not. Anyway, so your logo design, this is it. This is the full lockup with your tagline, your typography, your logo mark, all of that stuff all together in one piece. We even have a brand pattern in the background there that's really fun. So this video is going to talk about what the decisions are that I made going into this logo design, and then you can go ahead and scroll through the overview to take a look at all the brand elements that I've put together and some usage cases and mock-ups at the end there. Okay, so we started out talking about having this idea of like essentialism or minimalism to the typography, but it also has these kind of fun little, hidden semi-serif kind of things going on. So I used that same font that I got from your mood board, but also added kind of a few subtle touches to make it kind of our own thing. When you use a logo type, you want to make sure that you're customizing the text in some way that makes it unique and makes it stand out as your brand instead of just a font. So that's what I've done here. I've also included a really nice modern sans serif font to kind of back that feeling of crisp, clean, modern, all of that up. But then, because we want to make sure that we're highlighting the fact that you guys offer this custom premium service with one-on-one support, I also wanted to add this handwritten script font that makes it feel really, really personal to your target audience and makes them understand that yes, this is professional, yes, this is crisp, and yes, it's modern, but you're also really getting this personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. So that's what that's about there. I also went ahead and created your logo mark based on this idea of taking the brand in new directions. We have, the sun and the fact that it's breaking through that top box. It kind of symbolizes like limitless possibilities and potential. We also have this kind of feeling of almost like a road trip vibe. We have this path aiming to the horizon, and it just kind of breaks through off into the sunset or sunrise that's kind of showing that feeling of moving forward into almost the unknown, but in a way that makes you feel excited about the potential instead of worried or anything like that. I also wanted to use really stark and really bold geometric elements too. And so you can kind of see, you can kind of feel like the Southwestern style vibes to it. We've got all these triangle elements that really kind of give it that gritty but very minimalist feel. So that's the idea behind the logo mark and the logo type, also the tagline and the font choice, all of that working together to create this brand identity. So, excuse me. As you look down here at the brand overview, I kind of talk a little bit about, the brand as a whole and also your target audience. Here's some initial sketches that I had for your logo mark. You can see I have those kind of Southwestern vibes going on there, but I think pretty early on that one stood out to me as having the most clarity in the vision and everything. So you can go ahead and read the write-up that I've done here, but here is a preview. I know it's kind of a low-res, just web preview of your different graphic elements. But here we have your tagline, we have a stripped-down version of just the logo type, and then we have your submark or monogram that can be used on small usage cases, things where you wouldn't necessarily want to use the entire logo design. We have a little write-up about the color and then the application. So I've created this graphic here that's almost kind of like a signature for your brand, but it makes it so that if you don't want to use the logo itself, you have other ways of communicating what your brand is about and all of that without going too deep into the tagline or anything like that. So we have this Ethos signature. Then we also have this really fun modern pattern here. It's really bold. You can use it on things like signage or even like custom wrapping paper, things like that. And then down below we have a little bit more stripped down version of a pattern. that you can also use as well. These are really great textural elements that you can use in the backgrounds of different elements if you wanted to create some social media graphics or, anything like that. I even saw some clients using these textures on things like custom planner covers. So it's really, really versatile, and you can use it for almost anything. Now this is something that I had a whole lot of fun with. I had this thought about deconstructing the logo into icons to use on your website. So on your website, we're going to have the home page, but we're also going to talk a little bit about your process and what it's like working with you guys. And so to kind of illustrate that, I took my idea for the logo and broke it down into pieces that talk about exactly that process. So we have these 3 triangles kind of representing your team, and you can see they're all in a line working together. They're all, kind of on the same level, because I know that that was something that was really important to you guys, was making sure that they understood that this is a team effort without, having this rigid hierarchy. You're getting exactly who you need to talk to, and they're working totally with everybody else on the team. We also have this idea about the journey, taking your brand on this process that's going to just reinvigorate things and take things further than you thought that they could. So that's where that bottom half of the logo comes in. It has that like roadway feel, but then it's also led by kind of like a guiding star, and that's that triangle up at the top there, or sorry, not triangle, but diamond shape up at the top there. And so that gives a sense of, guided leadership, someone who's, trustworthy and who's going to take the brand in the right direction. Then we have the destination, and that's this kind of regal, limitless feeling of accomplishment and everything like that, and how that is still yet to come. And so that's what that destination icon is there. So all of these things together are what make up the logo, but they're also a really great way to down and show your client all the thought and all the value that you're providing when they're working with you. Then I have an example of some text here. We've got that same really nice crisp sans serif font working for our headlines, so that gives you a nice sense of expansiveness, of modernness, all those things. But then we have this nice personal kind of italicized paragraph text, and so that just kind of gives it a little more personality, and I think that that adds a really nice touch to it. Then I have some mock-ups for you to see how your brand can interact on things like stationery, things like business cards, all of that. So you can see I've used that Ethos signature as kind of a subtle nod, so that if you wanted to do some custom stationery, you could totally do that, and it wouldn't look like, cookie stationery or anything like that. It's got this really unique vibe and this really clear vision for the fact that it is your brand and nobody else's. Then we have a mock-up of something like a business card. I used Hannah's name for this example, but you can see we still have that Ethos signature that's really nice going across the bottom there, and we can use that in background elements. We can use it, basically anywhere that you would want to put your touch on there without going into the logo. So this is just an example of how the business card could function. Obviously, I would want to make some changes to make sure that the text is legible and all of that. But this is to give you a sense of how all these brand elements work together so that you're providing a cohesive experience for your clients when they're interacting with any part of your brand. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am. Let me know your feedback and everything. I'm going to put the due dates in this email. But if you have any questions in the meantime, go ahead and let me know. And yeah, I look forward to hearing back from you guys. Thanks.